Children, and now here it's time to start with a new topic now, new chapter now, and that chapter is important, easy, and related to your previous chapter, tissues. So this is going to be your next chapter. So all of you have already studied that cell chapter. Everybody knows meaning, definition, characteristic features of cell, right? The structural and functional unit of life. We have already studied this in last last video, so that was an important chapter. So this group of cells now unites together and it forms tissue. So when you define tissue, what it will be? Tissue is nothing but the group of cells which is similar in size, shape, structure, origin, and performing same function. So remember the definition. Tissue is nothing but the group of cells which is similar in size, shape, structure, origin, and performing same function. Now, these tissues will combine together and what it will form? It will form organs. Now, these organs, like you have different organs, example, your trachea, windpipe is one organ. Then the mouth cavity is another organ. Then there will be lungs, that will be another organ. So these all organs will come together and will form organ system, right? So we have different organ systems, like these organs which I listed just now will form respiratory system. Same way we have excretory system, we have digestive system, reproductive system. So there are different systems which will togetherly form an organism, right? And then it will go on, like organisms will form population, population will form community, community will form biome, or so on. So you should know only this part out of this. This hierarchy is very important. So cells will form tissues, tissues will form organs, organs will form organ systems will form organism, and then organisms will form population. So confident about this. So let's focus on these tissues. There are plant tissues and animal tissues we have to learn in this chapter. But first we will learn animal tissues, then we will learn plant tissues. Okay? So easy part, interesting part we will do first. So again, in animals, there are four main types of tissues. When it comes to animals, there are four main types. We can make a tree diagram of the same. You're supposed to copy down this tree diagram there in your notebook. You can also take a screenshot. So the first and important tissue from the plant animals is this epithelial tissues. Epithelial tissues is the first. Then comes second one, which is connective tissues. The third one is muscular tissues. And last one will be your nervous tissues. So there are four main tissues found in animals. What are those four main types? You can see here. Epithelial tissues, connective tissues, muscular tissues, and nervous tissues. Now, what are the basics about these types? Is that these epithelial tissues form lining of the organs, surface of the organs. Then connective tissues will help to connect, right? Then these muscular tissues will help in forming our muscles. And these nervous tissues will form our nervous system. So different types of tissues we have here, four types. One by one we will be learning, but before that, its subtypes also I will give you here in the chart. So epithelial tissues are again divided into two types. It includes simple epithelial tissues and compound epithelial tissues. So when you will call this tissue as a compound epithelial tissue or a simple epithelial tissue? Simple epithelial tissue means one layer of cells, one type. And in compound, there are many layers. And then one layer may be of one type, other layer may be of other type, and so on. Now again, in simple epithelial tissues, you have got different subtypes. Like it includes squamous epithelium, then cuboidal epithelium, then columnar epithelium, ciliated epithelium, glandular epithelium. So these are the subtypes of simple epithelial tissues. Squamous, cuboidal, columnar, ciliated, glandular. In compound, you have only one type, and that is about stratified. So compound one includes stratified epithelium. So this is about epithelial tissues classification, you can remember. Now connective tissues. So connective tissues include two subtypes. They can be divided now. Connective tissues help to connect, right? So these are usually found in your bones, your cartilage, etc. So they can be further divided into two types. That is binding connective tissues and supporting connective tissues. So they are divided into two types, binding and supporting. Now binding will help to bind, supporting will help to support. Now in binding you have got two types. And those two types are areolar connective tissues and adipose connective tissues. Areolar and adipose. And in supporting connective tissues, it includes three types. That is cartilage, bones, and blood. So these are the supporting connective tissues. Blood is the only connective tissue which is in fluid state, vascular state, or a liquid state. Remaining all are in solid state. Got it? And after that comes your muscular tissues. So we all know about muscles. So they are divided into again three types. And those three types include number one, smooth muscles. You know the meaning. Smooth muscles are those which are not attached to the skeleton. So muscles of esophagus, blood vessels, urinary bladder, etc. are the smooth muscles. Then the second type of the muscles is skeletal muscles. Skeletal muscles means muscles which are attached to the skeleton, bones. Your biceps, your triceps, calf muscles, shoulder muscles, hip muscles, they are all skeletal muscles. And the third type of the muscles will be cardiac muscles. Now, cardiac means muscles which are present in the heart. So, very important muscles, cardiac muscles. Got it? And now the last type of the tissues, which is nervous tissues, which form your nervous system. And the cells of these tissues, you know what they are called as? Neurons, exactly. So, longest cell in our body. Single neuron may measure the length of about 1 meter, right? Now, there are three types of neurons, if you remember. Remember, first type of the neuron is sensory neuron. Or you also can call it as efferent neuron. You may be knowing. Other name for the same is efferent neurons. Then motor neuron, or can also be called as efferent neurons. And the third type will be mixed or association neuron. Mixed neuron, or can also be called as association neuron. So you need to remember by heart this chart. Actually, this is for animal tissues. You can take a screenshot also, make it in your notebook. It's going to be important topic in your school examinations, etc. Comfortable, everybody? Yes. Shall we proceed now with the next or the first type of the tissue? So let us start. Okay, so let's continue now with the first type. Epithelial tissues. So are you ready? So let's start with epithelial tissues. Now when you say epithelial tissues, again what comes in your mind is your first type. Simple epithelial tissues. But before you learn its types, some basics we should know. General characteristic features of these tissues. So what are the general characteristic features of epithelial tissues then? So when you say epithelial tissues, it includes, this is for understanding, I am drawing a basic structure of any epithelial tissue. So first thing about epithelial tissues is that it has one basement membrane here. Basement membrane is located at the base of these tissues, and it is not made up of cells. It is non-cellular membrane on which these tissues rests. Now, here are the cells. You can check. So these are the different cells of this tissue. Now these cells of the tissue are held together. They are bind together with the help of one cement-like substance. And this cement-like substance is known as intercellular matter. This substance is known as an intercellular matter. And then comes another characteristic feature of these tissues is they have got a distinct nucleus which will be surrounded by cytoplasm. So this is nucleus which will be surrounded by cytoplasm. Now when you compare this with the plant tissues, you will see that in plant tissues there is space between the cells. That space is called as intercellular space. Here that space is absent and there is a substance which is called as intercellular matter. Is that clear? Now comes location of these tissues. So overall location when you talk, so epithelial tissues form lining of your organs. So lining of skin, lining of blood vessels, then it is present in your alveoli, that is lungs, lining of other such parts or organs, you can say, that will be about epithelial tissues. Now let's deal in detail with these 5 types of a simple epithelial tissues. So are you ready to explore this now? Let's begin. We can learn the same with the help of a table. So in tabular form, we can learn this all types. So it would be like this. First column will be for type of the tissue. Then it will include structure of the tissue. After structure, we will learn location of the tissue. And finally, functions of the tissues. Right? So this is the way how we are going to study the types. So let us begin now with first two types here. The first type you have got here is squamous epithelium, right? Squamous epithelium. And the second type will be cuboidal. We will learn that later. Now coming to the first type, squamous epithelium. So in this type of tissue, the structure will be like tiles. Now same diagram here which I have drawn will be little modified and it will look like tiles which are held with each other tightly attached. So look at this. So kind of this. Are you getting this? So cells have got polygonal shape. Polygonal shape. Then it looks like tiles. Appears as tiles and hence this tissue is also known by another name, pavement epithelium. So pavement stands for tiles. So pavement epithelium. Rest all will be same. There will be nucleus that will be surrounded by cytoplasm. Here there will be that basement membrane. And another basic characteristic feature of these epithelial tissues you remember is that they lack blood vessels or blood supply. Okay, this is also another important characteristic features. So baki characters will be general, that they have distinct nucleus surrounded by cytoplasm. The remaining will be general characters. Intercellular matter is present between cells. Then they do not have intercellular space. So these are the characteristic features you can remember. Easy, confident also. Now comes location of these tissues. So these tissues are present in the lining of alveoli of lungs. So you know what are alveoli. Grapes-like structures present in the lungs, units of your lungs. Then it is also present in the lining of blood vessels. Lining of blood vessels. So these are the two locations, simple locations you need to remember. And finally, functions of the same. So as it is present in the lining of the lungs, what it will do? It will help in diffusion of gases. So the first function is diffusion of gases. Second function is it helps in preventing leakage of blood. It will prevent leakage of blood. So these are the functions. First type, simple type, same diagram with a little modification you can remember. Confident? Anybody, any problem, any doubt with this? Yes? I hope you are confident with this. And now comes the next type, type number 2, which will be about cuboidal epithelium. So when you say cuboidal epithelium, then by type only you can understand the shape of the cells. So how it will be. So this diagram only, what I have drawn here is basically your cuboidal epithelium only. So what are the characteristic features of this cuboidal epithelium? Is that this cuboidal epithelium shape of cells will be like cubes. Shape of cells will be like cube. Other things, they will be held together with the help of that cement-like substance, intercellular matter. Correct? Third characteristic feature will be about nucleus. Where is it located? In the center. Shape of the nucleus is round and it is located in center, surrounded by cytoplasm. After nucleus, you can say that about basement membrane, the basic structure. The tissues rests upon a non-cellular membrane called as a basement membrane that is not made up of cells, mat-like structure. So simple characteristic features. Only one thing here you need to remember is the shape of the tissues. Now talking about functions, location. So these tissues are found in the lining of nephron. You know what is nephron? It is the structural and functional units of kidneys. So lining of nephrons. Also these are found in thyroid gland. You have heard about it? Thyroid gland is located in the neck region. So that has got thyroid follicles, which produces the hormone thyroxine. So it is lined by this same structure. And now function will depend upon location. So what it will do, it will help in urine formation or transport of urine, formation of hormone. So these will be the function: transport, support, protection, prevents leakage also, right? It will help in formation of hormone. That hormone is known as the thyroxine hormone. So these are the characteristic features of second type of tissue. I hope you all are confident. You can take a screenshot also if you feel so. Right? Anybody has any problem? Any doubt with this? We can proceed then with type number 3 then. Shall we? Take a screenshot. Okay. So let's proceed with type number 3 now. That is going to be your columnar epithelium, right? So are you ready? Columnar epithelium. So why the name is columnar? Because in this type of tissue, the shape of cells will be like columns, will be like pillars. So if you observe the diagram, even in your textbook, you'll see that it's like these are the cells, which are long, cylindrical, pillar-like, tightly attached with each other. Understanding? So this is the way how these tissues look like. Followed? So columnar epithelium, because shape of cells is like column. So cells are column-like or pillar-like, right? Then after that, you will see that every cell has two ends. One end will rest upon this non-cellular membrane, which we call it as basement membrane. And other end is this free end. Agree? So every cell has got two ends. One end will rest upon basement membrane, other end will be free. Now, out of those two ends, the free end is special one, and that has got small finger-like projections here. the free end possesses some finger-like projections or structures here. And these finger-like structures or projections are called as villi. So free end has finger-like projections which are known as a villi. Microvilli, you must have heard this name. So location will depend upon that. Now, other things. So here is the nucleus. That nucleus will be surrounded by cytoplasm as usual. So nucleus is present in the center. It looks elliptical in shape. So nucleus is oval in the center, surrounded by cytoplasm. Then intercellular matter as usual. Cells are held together with the help of intercellular matter, which will be a cement-like substance. So these are the characteristic features you need to remember. Easy. And now, location. Yes, already you have guessed the location. Because whenever we say this villi, the location will be lining of small intestine. Exactly. So it is found in the lining of small intestine. So that innermost layer of that intestine, that is called as mucosa. So it forms innermost lining of mucosa. That's the main thing. And more the villi, more the surface area. So it is directly proportionate with its surface area. And two main functions are performed by this. One function is secretion. So what it will secrete? That intestinal juice. Secretion of intestinal juice. And other secretion will be, other function will be absorption. So what it absorbs? Digested food. Because from small intestine only digested food is absorbed. So wasn't it simple, easy, confident everybody about the type? I hope so. Anybody has got any problem with that? So that was the type number 3. I can say that you all are confident about it, right? And now we have type number 4 to learn. So the type number 4 is ciliated epithelium. Ciliated epithelium, right? You're confident with the type number 3. So now type number 4 we will learn ciliated epithelium. So why we call it as a ciliated epithelium is because of one reason, and that reason is that here the same thing, same diagram, only one difference will be there, and that difference will be this villi will be missing, or this will be absent. Instead of that, there will be something else called as a cilia. So same diagram you can refer to. Shape of cells will be, you can say, modified columnar shape or column-like. Modified columnar epithelium, where again every cell will have two ends. Out of two ends, one end will rest upon basement membrane, other end will be free. Right? Now, this free end will possess special structure, and that special structure will be now long hair-like structures. In previous type, they were finger-like structures, right? Now those finger-like structures are replaced here by long hair-like structures, and these will be called as cilia. So it's simple. This free end with long hair-like structures which are called as cilia. Simple. Nucleus as usual, oval in shape, present in the center, or sometimes shifted towards base, surrounded by cytoplasm. If you want to add other characters, again you will have that basement membrane, you will have that intracellular matter you can add to your list. Easy. Now what is more important is this, location of the tissues. So when you say location of these tissues, it will be present in, yes, you know that, trachea. What a trachea? Windpipe. So it is located in your windpipe or a trachea, and function will depend upon that. Also, it is present in nephrons, that kidney tubules. Okay, it is present in kidney tubules. Also present in fallopian tubes. Have you heard this name? Fallopian tubes, also known as oviducts. So ये इसके locations हैं. Now what will be the function? So trachea or windpipe helps in transport of air. So it will prevent entry of dust particles and also will allow air to move in and out. Nephron may it will help in transport of urine. And what moves through this fallopian tube? That is ovum or egg. So such simple thing you can remember about this type. Easy? Confident everybody? You can take a screenshot of the same to remember. Any doubt, anybody with this? Shall we proceed now with the next type of the tissue? Done with screenshot? चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. So the next type now is type number 5, the last type. What is the name of that tissue? It will be your glandular epithelium, right? So let us study about it. Glandular epithelium. So let's see. Now the characteristic feature of this tissue is, these are the only tissues which have granules in their cytoplasm. Granules are small particles which help in secretion, production of secretion. So let us talk about this tissue now. So, as usual, first thing what we will learn is its structure, right? So when you talk about structure of these tissues, it will also be modified columnar epithelium or ciliated epithelium with the slight differences. Shape will be like this only, cylindrical in shape, usually. Then you can see also they are broad at the apex and narrow towards the base. You can make out this, right? So these tissues are broad towards apex and narrow towards base. I mean, cells are broad towards apex and narrow towards base. So when you say cells, they look like again column-like or a pillar-like. Then next feature is that they have again two ends as usual. This end will be resting upon basement membrane. This will be the free end. So every cell will have two ends. Now out of two ends, one end will rest upon basement membrane. Other end will be free. Now the end which is free possesses a modified structure or specialized structure like this. You can see this is called as a pit. So this free end possesses pits, and these pits are filled with something, and that something is nothing but your secretion. So what is this? Secretion. Secretion means these are glands, and the function of glands is always to secrete something. So pits filled with secretion, right? And there are other things you can tell about nucleus and cytoplasm. Nucleus may be oval in the center or towards the base. And another feature is this cytoplasm has granules. So characteristic feature of a cytoplasm is it has granules. So here is your nucleus, right? And this nucleus will be filled, will be surrounded by cytoplasm containing some granules. Easy? Simple? Understood everybody? Now, depending upon what they secrete, there are two types of these tissues. That is, glandular tissues can be divided into two main types. And those two types will be exocrine glands and endocrine glands. Have you heard this? Exocrine glands and endocrine glands. Do you know the difference? Exocrine glands are those which secrete which secrete enzymes. And endocrine glands are those which secrete hormones. These have duct which helps to carry the secretion. These are ductless. So these carry their secretion through duct. Carry their secretion through duct. And these pour their secretion directly in blood. So they are supplied by blood vessels. Understood? And now you will tell examples, which will be your location. So examples will be what? Salivary glands. You know about it? Salivary glands, liver, gastric glands. They are all exocrine glands. And when you talk about endocrine glands, what it will be? Endocrine glands will be your hormone secreting glands. For example, pituitary gland, thyroid gland, right? Even it will include adrenal gland on the top of kidneys, and so on. So now location will be, they are found in the head. So when you say head, pituitary is the best example. Then when you say mouth cavity, salivary glands are there. I'm writing here mixed. Then in addition to that, if you say over kidneys, then the example will be adrenal gland. So there are different locations. So number of glands are there in our body, which will keep on secreting enzymes and hormones. Enzymes, you may be knowing some examples. Salivary amylase, lipase, right? So that is the example. Now function will be what? The main function is secretion of enzymes and hormones. So these are the two main functions of these tissues. I hope you are confident with this. Was the last type of epithelial tissues. Simple epithelial tissues we were talking about. Correct? You can again take a screenshot, write down this in your notebook as your notes. All right? Confident everybody? Done with the screenshot? So what remains in the epithelial tissues now is one more type which will be called as compound epithelial tissues. Now In your textbook, it is not given as a separate topic. 1 or 2 lines are there. I just tell you what it is, and then we will stop for today. So compound epithelium. Why you call it as compound epithelium? Because this has many layers, right? So this compound epithelium is found in your skin. Second layer of the skin. Outer layer is called as epidermis. Inner layer is called as dermis. So it is found below epidermis. And it will have many layers. Like if you say here is the type. So this will again rest upon basement membrane as usual. This is your basement membrane. And above basement membrane, there will be one layer of cells which will support these tissue. This is called as stratum germinativum. Important name for your competitive exams. Stratum germinativum. Now that will form the base of these tissues. And now there will be different layers, like one layer of your, if you say squamous epithelium is there. So this is one layer. Above this squamous epithelium, there may be cuboidal epithelium, right? Above cuboidal epithelium, there may be again another layer of squamous epithelium, and so on. Like this, there are many layers, and these top layers or cells will be the cells which will come in contact with external shocks and injuries. So these cells will die. So you can say here, these are the dead cells and worn out cells. So where you find these tissues in your body, I said, it is found in lower layer of the skin below epidermis. And what will be the function of these tissues? Basically, it will help in wound healing. The main function is these tissues help in wear and tear of the body. That is wound healing. So that was all about epithelial tissues. I hope everybody has understood and confident also with the types. I can say so. So that was all in today's lecture. We'll meet with the next issue in the next class. We will stop here for today. Good day. Take care.